The weight of your phone rests in your hand like a quiet verdict. The room around you is still. The air feels paused, and somewhere inside your chest there is a pressure you have learned to ignore. Because before it is too late, you need to understand one thing. This moment is not random. This moment is a fork, and what you absorb in the next minutes will either lock you deeper into repetition or pull you out of it forever. Listen carefully. This is where most people fail. They scroll. They consume. They never execute. You are here because your mind already senses that something is off, that you see patterns others miss, that you feel tension where others feel comfort. And that difference is not a curse. It is evidence. Evidence that if you have these traits, even quietly, even painfully, you are already operating above most people, even if no one has ever told you. Most people move through life like open systems, leaking information, leaking emotion, leaking intent, and then they wonder why they are used, overlooked, or replaced. You have felt this. The message left unread, the idea stolen, the respect that never arrives. Not because you lack value, but because the system around you exploits visibility, generosity, and noise. And here is the coded truth. Intelligence is not loud. It is economical. It conserves energy. It withholds. It waits. Look at your hands. Still, your mind does not rush. That is the first sign, though no one ever names it for you. You think before you speak. You replay conversations long after they end. You notice tone shifts, micropauses, avoidance, the way power moves quietly between people while words distract the weak. This trait makes childhood harder, relationships confusing, and authority frustrating. Short sentence. You see too much. And because you see too much, you hesitate, while others charge forward with confidence borrowed from ignorance. They look strong, temporarily, but the system always eats them later. Here is where the scarcity principle begins to work in your favor, even if you never learned its name. You do not give yourself away easily. You feel the cost of attention, so you ration it. Others misread this as distance or coldness, but the truth is simpler. You understand that what is rare is valued and what is constant is consumed. Pause. Breathe. Let that sink in. The second trait hides in discomfort. You feel pain earlier than others. Rejection hits you deeply. Failure lingers. Silence bothers you. But this sensitivity is not weakness, it is bandwidth. You process more data. Others numb themselves. You metabolize reality. That is why systems built on exploitation target you early, because you care, because you reflect, because you adjust. Dark psychology teaches that systems hunt feedback loops, and your pain is feedback. The difference is what you do with it. Most drown. You analyze. Quietly. Third sentence. Punchy. You adapt. This is frame control in its purest form. You do not fight frames head-on. You step out of them. When a conversation feels wrong, when a demand feels rushed, when an offer smells cheap, you feel the misalignment before logic catches up. That feeling has saved you more times than you remember. Still, you were taught to doubt it, taught to explain yourself, taught to over-justify. That training was not for your benefit. It was a system exploit. Here is a third trait emerging now, your discomfort with shallow certainty. People who are not smart crave final answers. They want rules, labels, moral shortcuts. You resist that. You sit in ambiguity. You hold opposing ideas without panicking. This makes you slower. It also makes you dangerous later, because certainty collapses under pressure. Flexibility does not. Listen carefully. This is where the leverage hides. If you feel a subtle tension in your chest as these words land, type system active now. The fourth trait shows up as isolation, not because you reject people, but because most people cannot follow you where your mind goes. You connect patterns across time, psychology, incentives, power, behavior. You see outcomes before decisions finish forming. This makes small talk feel loud and meaningless. It makes crowds exhausting. You recharge alone. The system calls this introversion. That word is lazy. What it really is cognitive depth. Deep processes require quiet. Noise lowers accuracy. This is why you often feel most alive late at night, when the world sleeps and your thoughts align. Short sentence. That is not coincidence. Now understand the exploit. Systems reward speed, not accuracy, visibility, not substance. So when you play by their rules, you lose. When you withdraw, observe, and re-enter with precision, you win. This is a blackout method, though no one ever taught it to you. You disappear from low-value engagement. You stop reacting publicly. You reduce output. And in that silence, you study. People reveal everything when they think you are not watching. Fifth trait. You are uncomfortable asking for help, not from pride, but from calculation. You have learned, often the hard way, that help is never free. It comes with framing, expectation, debt. You count that cost instinctively. That makes you self-reliant early, exhausted sometimes, but structurally independent. Others build on borrowed confidence. You build internally. It takes longer. It lasts longer. This is why when pressure hits, many collapse while you recalibrate. Hear this. Intelligence is endurance, not applause. The sixth trait is the most misunderstood. You feel guilt when you outgrow people. You hesitate to surpass them. You minimize your wins. You downplay your capacity. This is not humility. This is a social survival reflex. You learned early that difference invites control attempts, that shine attracts envy before support. So you dim, you shrink, you wait. This kept you safe. It also kept you hidden. Dark psychology names this inhibition a response to early dominance conditioning. You were taught, directly or indirectly, that standing out invites punishment, so your mind learned to camouflage. The danger is staying there too long. Short sentence. Camouflage is not a home. The final trait is the quietest and the sharpest. You notice power, not titles, not money, actual leverage. Who waits? Who interrupts? Who delays replies? Who never explains? You feel the shift in a room when someone enters. You cannot unsee it. This awareness makes you restless because you know when games are being played on you, even if you cannot yet name them. That awareness is a seed of mastery. But awareness without execution becomes torment. This is where most intelligent people suffer. They understand systems but do not dominate them. They see manipulation but stay polite. They feel disrespect but smile. That is where regret is born. And regret is expensive. Listen carefully. The cure is not aggression. It is precision. Intelligence becomes power only when paired with scarcity, frame control, and strategic silence. You already have the hardware. This is the software installed. You stop explaining yourself to people who benefit from misunderstanding you. You stop offering clarity where confusion gives you leverage. You stop reacting in real time. Time pressure is a weapon used by those who need your compliance. You slow the frame. You answer later. You choose silence where others choose defense. This makes them unstable. They were using your predictability as a map. Now the map burns. This is the power you sensed earlier. The activation comes now. If you're breathing slowed while reading this, type system active again. The transformation is internal before it is visible. You begin to speak less but say more. You let others talk themselves into revealing intent. You observe consistency over charm. You detach emotionally from outcomes while staying focused on direction. This is not coldness. This is clarity. And clarity commands respect without force. People begin adjusting around you. They check their words. They hesitate before crossing you. They feel something they cannot explain. It is not fear of you. It is fear of miscalculation. That fear is respect shadow. You do not announce boundaries. You enforce them by absence. You do not chase validation. You let silence create demand. You move like someone who does not need permission. Because you do not. This is where intelligence finally stops hurting you and starts protecting you. The pain you felt was a friction of unused capacity. Now it becomes talk. Your history recontextualizes. Every moment you felt different. Every time you were told you think too much. Every situation where you were underestimated. That was training. Not for comfort. For control. Remember this. Systems exploit the unaware. They elevate the useful. They fear the unreadable. Become unreadable. Stay calm. Conserve words. Choose presence over noise. And never forget, the people who seem ahead now are often running on borrowed frames. When those collapse, only structure remains. You are structure. Quiet. Patient, dangerous in the long term, and now you know why.